Hello everyone, I'm Rose Shadowcat, and today you're gonna see me cook pizza. So a few ingredients you're going to need is water, sugar, salt, olive oil or vegetable oil, dry yeast preferably. If you have dry yeast, that would be best. If you don't, use any kind of yeast, I guess, still works, and flour. You would want to do is heat up your water. Don't make it too hot, don't make it too cold either, like have it about a warm temperature. If you were to put your finger in, it should not burn you, but it should be warm and nice. I do it in the microwave for about 1 minute, and that's gonna be hot. So what I do, since I'm doing double, is that I take 1 cup of hot water and then I add a different cup that is cold water, and then it mixes. So that would be best if you were to do that. This is 1 cup of hot water and 1 cup of cold water together. So there you go. I should mention I'm making pizza dough from scratch. Should mention that. Yeah, that's gonna be in the name, so, and description, so whatever. So next, you're gonna go ahead and take your dry yeast, and since I'm making 2 double dough for 2 pizzas, I'm going to add about 4.5 teaspoons of dry yeast. For normal one, 2 1/4 teaspoons of dry yeast. And this is how it's gonna look. So now you're gonna go ahead and mix it in. Mix it in. Make sure that all the yeast that you see, these little crumbles, are no longer visible. And also make sure to scrape the sides, because there is some yeast on the sides as well. I add 2 tablespoons of sugar and 2 tablespoons of salt. I know it sounds a lot, but yeast has to act with sugar in order for your dough to grow later on. So therefore, you need a lot of sugar here. If you're making half a dough, or like for 1 pizza, I'm making 2 pizzas, you add 1 tablespoon of sugar and 1 teaspoon of salt. The recipe is going to be in the description for both half and for the double one. So you mix it in, make sure that there are no crumples of sugar or salt that you can feel with your spoon once you mix it all in. Next, you're gonna add 1 tablespoon of olive oil or vegetable oil, whatever you have. It's gonna look bubbly like this, yellow bubbles in it, and you can play with them a little bit if you would like to, or don't play too long, because after this step you're gonna add flour. In the recipe, I think it says 2 cups of flour in 1/4. I might be wrong. I just add flour till it becomes a dough. I will show a little bit each step of when it becomes more doughy-like. So make sure you don't add all of the dough right away. Add a little bit and mix it a little bit and mix it and a little bit and mix it. It'll make your dough a lot better and softer and a lot tastier when you actually bake the pizza. Add some dough. It's gonna look like this, or flour, I mean. It's gonna have little crumbles in it. And eventually it's gonna look like pancake mix, like this. I'm using a whisk. And then you add more flour to it. I'm gonna do it right in front of your eyes. Flour. See how I don't add a lot of flour right away? I add a little bit and then I mix. That is how you should be doing. And make sure to scrape the sides because flour gets left in there and you don't want that. You want to get all the flour you can into it. I'm gonna continue a little bit more, and once I reach the point of where it's becoming more like an actual dough, I will show you. So eventually you're gonna notice that it's becoming sticky and more formed together like, as you can see here. That is when it's becoming more of a dough. You're not done yet, keep adding flour to it. At some point you're gonna have to take the whisk out because the dough cannot be mixed with a whisk at some point, or like with a spoon or whatever, or with a mixer. And then you're gonna have to take your hands and mix it with your hands and like knead it a little bit by your own self. So be prepared that you're going to have to use your hands and wash them. And so this is a point of where you're going to have to use your hands because the whisk is not doing anything and not mixing anything anymore because the dough is becoming a dough. It's still not ready. As you can see, it has some wet spots like right here. You're going to need to add more flour till it becomes quite dry and you're going to be able to get it out into your hand and not have it stick to your hands or to the bowl. So, keep adding flour. There isn't such a thing as adding too much flour because if you do add too much flour, it's not really gonna do anything to the dough, but just make it floury on the outside. If that even makes sense. Okay, so now I want to show how you're going to mix the dough because some people might not know. So you're gonna use two hands and it might stick to your hands at first. As you can see, it sticks to mine. And you add flour to it and you knead it like this. Make sure that all sides have flour in them because you don't want to have one side dry and the other sticking to your hands or to the bowl. You can do it with one hand. I prefer to do it with one hand because I hold the other one with a bowl. You can do it with two hands. You can do it with the help of somebody. Just make sure that the dough is dry enough and not sticking to anything. So you can pick it up like this and basically have it in your hands like that. Now that the dough is done, it's dry and all that, you would want to put it somewhere warm for it to grow. So what I do, I put something over it to cover it up so, nothing goes into it, nothing falls into it, and it doesn't get like anything sticky or, I don't know. Just to make sure that nothing falls into it. And you're going to put it into, what I do is into a ball of warm water. Just like that. It's in a ball of warm water. There is my dough in there. And you're going to leave it for 30 minutes. And then once it grows after 30 minutes, you can go ahead and work with it. I will not film that part because I'm not making a video of how to make the whole pizza. I'm just making a video of how to make the dough. So basically, congratulations. You made a huge mess, just like me. Well, that's fine. It's okay. Nothing's gonna happen if you do that. You can just clean it up. I'll be cleaning it up. Well, I appreciate all of you watching. I might put some pictures of the pizza ready later. You can look at the flowers while I talk. Of the pizza later. once I actually finish it. And if you have any questions or recommendations or anything you want to point out or say to me in the comments down below, you can go ahead and comment. Again, the description is going to be in the recipe is going to be in the description. I hope you all liked this video. Give it a like or a dislike, whether you did. And I hope you have a great night day. Oh yeah, subscribe if you want to see more. I usually do video games, but time to time I'll be doing vlogs where I do random things like this. Have a great night, day.